Hi guys, welcome back to Travelites, another day, another video. And in this video guys, we are going to cover our entire Salalah itinerary with you guys. All the details related to our flights, accommodation, like travel, transportation and whatnot. You think about it and we have got it covered for you in this video. So guys, this is a really detailed video for our entire travel plan. We hope you guys like and enjoy it. And before we get into the video, guys, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Travelites. So without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. So the first thing first, it is all about flights and accommodation. So we boarded our flight from Abu Dhabi and the flight name was Wizz Air. Wizz Air is generally known to provide you like very affordable prices for the flight. The journey time from Abu Dhabi to Salalah was approximately around 1 hour 30 minutes to 1 hour 45 minutes. And per person, to and fro flight costed us around 580. We booked our flights well in advance. We prepared for our trip well in advance, which helped us to get the flights and all the reservations at a reduced price. So you can take it as a tip whenever you want to plan your trip to Salalah, you can do this. And if I talk a little more about Salalah here, Salalah is truly a lush green area. And in case you're planning to visit Salalah, the time from June to September is the best time because that marks the Kharif season in Salalah Oman. It's completely green over there and you will get the most majestic and beautiful natural landscapes one has ever seen. So that was pretty much about Salalah and the Kharif season over there. Now let's talk about our accommodation. So guys, we stayed in Salalah for 3 nights and we stayed at Samharan Resort in Salalah. On an average, it costed us around 450 AD per night. And in case you can just multiply it with 3 because we stayed there for 3 nights. So that was our total cost during our stay. And a brownie point about Samharan Resort was, so on the day of our return back to Abu Dhabi, we had an early morning flight, which was around 9 a.m. And these guys were so generous, so modest guys. You cannot believe that even. Like we requested them, like, can you help us with some tiny little breakfast in the morning so that we can eat. We are not hungry, empty stomach while we board the flight. And you won't imagine they got all the fruits, all the tea preparations. They even prepared the dosa and everything they prepared in just a short span of time. And their hospitality was on next level. So with the help of this video, we'll also like to thank Samharan Resorts in case someone from the property sees this. But they give you one of the finest hospitality, that's for sure, because we experienced it. So that was pretty much about flights and accommodation. Now we move to the next part of the video, which is the visa process and about the travel insurance. So yes, you do require a visa and you also require travel insurance. So how we got our visa booked, it's a e-visa. We just went on to their Oman website where they issue the visa. You just need like basic majorly 4 documents: your passport, your residence visa, your Emirates ID for photograph. Again, a quick disclaimer, these all documents are required for someone who lives in Dubai or like GCC and holds a residence visa too. Like for me, it was less than 2 hours. Within 2 hours, I got my visa. For Arjun, it took around a day to get the visa process. So it depends on at the time when you apply, but generally it is advisable. Like you just keep 1 week in advance in buffer before your travel date. Just don't wait for the last hour to get your visa appointments done, because in the like last minute things will add some hassle. And also informative point over here. So our friend's wife's visa got rejected. The reason behind was she was under the sponsorship visa. So please make sure to check these details under which category you apply for visa, because in case you are under your spouse visa, you need to apply it under different categories. So make sure you just take care of these things. It was not a mandate requirement anywhere, but as a traveler, we will suggest you to always have a travel insurance well in advance, because you never know how the situation is and like when and where you need that insurance. And getting like when you travel outside the country and taking any of the basic medical treatments outside the country is really expensive. So if you have a travel insurance, it saves you from a lot of additional costs. And I and Arjun are in a habit of taking it before any trip, even if it's a mandate requirement or not. So that is pretty much about Oman visa, Oman travel visa, and your travel insurance. In case you have any questions, you can reach us at any point of time on our comment sections. You can comment us, and also to our official email ID, which is officialtravelites@gmail.com. We will be there to answer your all the questions. And also you can reach out to us on our Instagram handles, Facebook pages, anywhere in case you have any doubts. Let's move to the third part of the video, which includes about SIM and car rental. Cost of SIM, because your GCC SIMs will they do work, but then you need to have an international roaming. So we did not get into that hassle of getting all the roaming things done. What we thought of, let's go there and we'll buy a SIM. Basically, it costed us 6 Omani Riyal. And a simple maths for you, 1 Omani Riyal equals to 10 AED. So which means the cost of the SIM for us was 60 AED if we talk about the price in dirhams. And also it had sufficient internet and the number of minutes to call through. So it was easy to call some taxi driver person whom we want to rent the car with, or any other person from the local contact in case we wanted to know. So it was like a good deal to get it, and it made our travel hassle free. We got the SIM straight from the airport, so we will suggest you also, you can just directly land onto the airport and you can get your SIM even before you step out. That would be helpful. So you'll always be in the reach of internet because you don't know where the roads and everything is there. So it will help you. Now, let's talk about the other piece, which is the car rental. So we booked the car well in advance. So there are multiple rates. One good thing is they do not take any of the initial booking cost, which is actually very helpful because you don't put in a lot of money as a form of security deposit. So they showed us multiple cars, like which started from 15 Omani Riyal per day, 20 Omani Riyal. Well, depend on the kind of car, like you're going for petrol, you're going for good Kia or something. We just took Toyota Yaris. It was, the rent for that car was 15 Omani Riyal for 1 day, and the cost of 3 days, it took us around 45 Omani Riyal. That is the maximum spent, guys, which we have in there. And fuel prices in Oman are lesser than that of UAE, so you get cheaper petrol over there. And we managed our entire trip in our car ride. So we already had the internet, so that was a savior point. We just put in the navigation and just drove around the beauty of Salalah. It was really, really very beautiful, and those mountainous roads and the mountains tending towards the beaches, you get all those views while your car drives. So we'll definitely say, if you own a Dubai driving license or like international driving license, I think you are allowed to drive in Salalah or any part of the world. I will only suggest you, in case you have any doubts or questions whether your license will be accepted there, check with your rental provider well in advance, that you don't get screwed. Because during our travel, when we just drove very far off from Salalah, there were 2 checkpoints where our license, our documents, our passports, everything was checked, because we were tending, it was such a long ride that we were tending towards Yemen. So that will come in the later part of the video, but I would suggest you take these precautionary measures well in advance. Since Arjun has Dubai driving license, it was not a problem for us. We got straight away the car, and we knew where, which parts of the world we can use our driving license. So it was easy for us. So now let's talk about the food and the amount, how much amount we got exchanged. So talking about the food, in case you are vegetarian, Oman is not a problem at all for you, because you get plenty of options to eat from veg food to non-veg food if you want. So we ate from Udupi. You will get the Udupi restaurant there. We ate from Annapurna. The cost and the taste of the food was really good. And we also ate from Megdi. And then also we went to some malls to explore different kinds of food and all of other options. So these possibilities were there. Since I am properly vegetarian, but I faced no issue during my travel to Salalah. So for vegetarians, because non-vegetarians, it's easy for them to eat and to get food across. So for vegetarians, we generally have some issues, but it was all good. And also the second thing is how much amount we exchanged. So we exchanged around 1400 AED to Omani Riyal before our trip. And so I will again give you a quick maths here, so that you just plan your conversions accordingly. Firstly, your credit cards, international credit cards, will be widely accepted. So no need to just exchange a huge amount of money beforehand, and Salalah is relatively very affordable in terms of food, travel, and other experiences. So you do not need a bunch of money. So both we traveled along with our friends. So both of the couples, we just got converted 1480 per couple into the Omani Riyal, and believe the cost for 4 people traveling and enjoying 3 days in Salalah was just 1480. One person just took entire money back, and we just got it converted back to AED. So we will say the cost for traveling for 4 people was approximately 1480. But be mindful, because since we were 4 people, so most of our cost was split among four. But in case you're just 2 people, you just need to make some adjustments and calculations accordingly. Okay, so guys, now moving to our showstopper part of the video, which is the itinerary. And I know you guys would be waiting for like what all we did, where all we went. So in my opinion, Salalah is a really good place to have, like, to definitely put in a visit to. But 3 to 4 days maximum are way more than enough to explore the entire place. Like within our 3-day trip, almost we explored 70 to 80% of the Salalah, and like maybe it could be 90% based on our interest and everything. So that's what I feel. It's good enough time. So in case you're planning your trip to Salalah, a long weekend can definitely do wonders for you. So just take a leave for Thursday or Friday and then get your trip sorted. So let's start with our day one. So on our day one, we landed to Salalah, and then our first destination was, like, first thing what we did was we took the car, got ourselves freshened up from the hotels, and then we went straight away to explore the city Salalah. So our first view was SHAAT viewpoint. It is believed that you see mountains, it is believed you see clouds below that viewpoint. So since it was badly raining during that time, we could not see any view, but yeah, we do have some clips in there which we captured. So we are putting it here so that you can enjoy like what we were able to see. But since it was just the start of our trip and we were in the overexcited phase, so we enjoyed it. So over there is a Kharif festival which was going on, which was suggested by one of our locals, and we just went straight in there, and what we saw was a lot of food stalls. So we tried with different dishes over there, and I did some face painting on my face. On day two, we were traveling towards the Mirbat side. So Salalah is in between. Then you have two sides. One is Mirbat, second is towards Yemen. So on day one, we were traveling towards Mirbat side. So our first point was Wadi Darbat. We spent our time there. We did boating, we did kayaking, and then we ate a lot of food. We visited one of the finest cafes over there to have a cup of coffee. In case you want to plan something romantic with your partner, you can definitely visit for Cafe London. It was really good. And so Wadi Darbat is majestic, guys. We're just going to put in some scenic scenes there in the video in just now. It is amazing. You see that lush greenery, the kayaking experience. It was just for 5 Riyal per person, and we enjoyed it throughout. Like, if I compare to such kind of adventure sports from the cost what we pay in Dubai, it would be a lot more. So I would better suggest you, in case you want to experience these kind of things, you just experience it at a cheaper places. And also the weather, it was drizzling, and the nature across you was very beautiful. So I definitely recommend you, your more than half of the day would be spent at Wadi Darbat only. It's such a huge place and a lot of activities to do throughout the day. So that was pretty much about Wadi Darbat. Post Wadi Darbat, we proceeded towards AYN RUB waterfall. Unfortunately, the water will take around 5 to 6 days still to come up from the top, and the waterfall will get started. So what we saw was just a big mountain there, no water there, but no problem. But we went to that place since the locals told us it will take some time. So then we returned back. Lastly, we just did some party since it was a Friday on our day two. So we thought of like having some bunch of parties. So we booked a VVIP table in one of the cafes over there. We took shisha, we ate pistachio, kunafa, and we ate a lot of dishes, local dishes as well, along with some mocktails and cocktails. So it was a really fun experience, and just we were enjoying in one of the finest restaurants. We will link the link in the description box in case you are also planning to visit your day. So you can just get the club vibe in Oman as well. And apart from that, this was a pretty packed day. Coming from the club, it was already 12:31 a.m. in the night. Now we proceed towards day 3. So now we have already covered the Mirbat side. Now it's the time to cover the Yemen side. So we started our day 3 from the farthest point, that was Dalkhut village. And more than the destination, the entire route was so scenic. You see mountains, you see camel crossing roads, you see clouds coming and touching your face, hitting your face, and you feel water droplets on your face, and you just get a good cup of hot karak tea in your hand, and that makes the entire experience magical. I know the way I'm able to explain it to you, you will find it more beautiful when you experience it on your own, guys. So that was our first, like, the entire journey towards Dalkhut village. Generally, it takes around 2.5 hours from Salalah to Dalkhut village. But since we were so fond of clicking pictures, enjoying the nature around, it approximately took 3.5-hour drive. And during this drive only, there were 2 checkposts we actually crossed. Since we were getting closer to the border of Yemen, there were a lot of army forces. There were 2 army checkpoints where we got our driving license checked, where we got our passports, and everything was checked for all 4 of us. After that, once we reach to Dalkhut village, there is a Dalkhut beach, which is supposed to have a very scenic view. You get, like, what happens is you see the water on one side, then the mountains on the back side of the ocean, and the clouds coming way too down. So it was rainy day for us, so no great views, but we actually enjoyed our travel time, because during our travel, we actually saw, like, the clouds getting down the hills, and the view was majestic. So that's what all we captured. And so we just spent around 20 minutes at Dalkhut beach, and then we proceeded towards our next stop, which was MUGSAIL beach. MUGSAIL beach is supposed to have, like, MARNEEF cliff close by and the blowholes. Blowholes were really amazing. So let me tell you the concept of blowholes. What happens is the ocean water hits a rock, and the blowholes just populate, like, it ejaculates the water on the top. So like like you get a shower coming upside. So it was beautiful, it was majestic. And then you have a MARNEEF cave. It's just a big rocky structure there. You can get good pictures over there, and if it's a sunny, clean weather day, you will get the fullest. And also, what we will suggest, we just ate at one of the places which was very close to MARNEEF caves. It's supposed to have that complete water view, but the food was not good. Trust me, it was not at all good, not worth the quality of the food what we paid. We paid the maximum bill for our single meal was 10 OMR, and that was for that place where the food was not good. So we will not recommend you to just have food there. Instead, just go back to Salalah or some other places to get yourself some good dining options. So this was pretty much about Salalah, whatever we did, whatever we explored. And to conclude this video, guys, we actually had a great time there. It was really a very regenerating and a relaxing experience going out from Dubai, where the temperature has risen up to like 50 degrees these days. It's getting so hot in Dubai. So a small natural escape was something which we needed from the core of our hearts. We enjoyed every single moment, and we thank everyone who has watched our videos, have believed in us. We create content which can actually help others. And in case you guys need any help, any support from us, we are always there for you. And guys, what we expect from you is like that subscribe button. You should hit it. You should press in the bell icon and continue to loving us the way you have been loving us so much so far. Goodbye. Take care. Travelites love you back. Bye-bye.